Okay, there we go. We have audio. Yay. All right. Sorry about that. I'll give you all time to find me again. And while I am patiently waiting, while you patiently waited for me, I am going to put my links in the chat section. All right, almost done. Okay. All right. So, hope that everyone has found me. I am Belinda Robertson, and you are here for Thursday night soul sessions. Yay! It is a pleasure to have you. Tonight's question is good. Last night we had such a good night, and I know. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping before I run away with things. I am available for private sessions, private tarot reading sessions, or energy sessions, and sound bowl sessions. You can schedule time with me. Use the link that is in the chat. I have a Calendly link there, and I see that I spelled TenMustardSeeds wrong. So hopefully you can make that correction. Let me just going to unpin one. Okay, so just go to the website at www.10mustardseeds.com and you can look around there. I do have some freebies for you, confidence challenge workbook, and some other things, exciting things are going to be loaded up. I'm in the midst of editing and putting those things up for you to have some guided meditations, love letters to you. These are my heart pouring out to you, things that I have in a journal that I'm ready to make public. They're not deep secrets, but they're journal entries, and they're entries that help me move through every phase of life. So, without further ado, that is the housekeeping. Let's hit this number one topic right here because last night we had such a good night. And the topic is, what are you making harder than it needs to be? Right? So before we move into the cards tonight, I want to sit with this question. And it's been on my heart. And it's a question that I find myself asking over and over and over again in different seasons of life. And again, that is, what are we making harder than it needs to be? I know that it's an interesting question because sometimes life is genuinely difficult. People disappoint us, plans fall apart, unexpected things happen. So I'm not talking about pretending challenges don't exist. I'm talking about something a little different. I'm talking about the extra weight we sometimes add to situations. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of times we call it overthinking. Okay. So, have you ever noticed that two people can go through something very, very similar, and one person moves through it with relative ease, while another carries it for years? Same situation, different experience. I know I did put something up on my Instagram. I made a quick little post there, and because I took my son to a car race last month, and we were at the Canon booth, and they gave us cameras to take shots as the cars were racing. So the three of us were standing there and right along the side of the track, and we're taking pictures of the same car, same event, same time. But you know what? Each one of us will have and still have a different story about what took place. And so I've learned that often the suffering isn't coming entirely from what happened. Sometimes it's coming from the story we continue telling ourselves about what happened. And suddenly the story becomes, I'm not lovable, right? Maybe we fail at something and the story becomes, um, I'm not capable. Maybe a relationship ends and the story becomes, I wasn't enough. And I hear that so often. I wasn't enough. And we talked about this last night also. Why wasn't I good enough? What could I have done differently? What did I do? And we just always pointing the finger back at us. And yes, we are the, I don't like to say blame. Yes, we are the responsible party to some extent, but a lot of it is self sabotage. A lot of it is really self sabotage, this overthinking, this reasoning mind trying to pull all the pieces apart just to see what happens and what comes. And the interesting thing is, the event may have lasted a single moment. And when I say a single moment, I mean all of 2 seconds. It don't take you long to cuss somebody out, and it doesn't take long for somebody else to say something off the wall to you. The thing is that it happens in 1 minute, 1 second, but the story can last for years. We will take some things to the grave with us, and every time we tell this particular event, the story of what happened, why your feelings got hurt, if you could write it down each and every time. In fact, I even challenge you, write down a story, a challenge that happened to you, write it down every month and see how many times that story will change. And it won't be that it's a drastic change, but little pieces and parts will be missing, and little pieces and part will continually be added. Okay. So this is something that I've had to learn personally. Sometimes when things begin to get easier, we don't even trust it. We don't trust it. We always go and look for the wrong thing. We always go and look for, okay, that was a little too easy. The doubt creeps in, and this happens subconsciously because your ego self is always on the fight or flight mode and is always looking to protect you for the next moment, because that sense of doubt, when the thing when the thing gets easier, is a trigger. And it's a trigger to the ego that says, hey, time out, wait a minute. Last time you felt this way, it didn't go so well. So we've been taught that if something matters, it should be difficult, right? Pain before pleasure. We hear that a lot. Fire and desire. So if it's valuable, we should struggle for it. I can take you to the Bible for that one. A lot of people believe that you must suffer in order to understand or know what good is. I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. Again, this is my belief. This is what I believe. I do not believe that you have to suffer in order to have things come to you, in order for you to respect what it is that you have. I believe that if you just simply count your blessings, be grateful at all times, then guess what? You can always receive the good. So if it's important, w- we should sacrifice endlessly for it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So when life offers us an easy path, we become suspicious. We think, "Mm, it can't be that simple. There has to be more. Surely I need to work harder." All right. If that's you, you can raise your hand. At least you're admitting it. But understand this. The only thing I want to get across tonight is so does not have to be. I've realized there is a difference between effort and struggle. Effort is healthy. Effort says, I am participating in my life. Struggle is different. Struggle often says, I am fighting what already is. So I want you to think about it like this. Um, you got a stream and picture a fish. When the fish decides to go upstream against the current, he is struggling and he barely gets anywhere. And he is seems to be, if he's going upstream and you notice him by the rock, he could be by that rock for the next hour, just steady wiggling, going, trying to get somewhere and never getting anywhere. So here you are, you're in the boat. Are you going to get in this same river, in this same stream? Are you going to paddle against the stream, or are you going to relax and float downstream? Go with the current, go with the flow. And Belinda, that's not life. Sorry, it is, because we make so much of things. We add on the extra. We add on the extra. Oh, he didn't call me. Maybe he's too busy for me. Why go there? Why did you just add on the extra? Wouldn't it been okay if you just say, next time you speak to him, I was waiting for your call and you didn't call, and get a reason and an excuse or a response, because maybe something happened. For instance, last night I was supposed to um, do Monday's stream because there was no audio, so I deleted that that whole live, and I was going to go online again. I was going to live last night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So when I ended the live last night for the 7 o'clock, I left. Me and my daughter, we attempted to go and pick up um, Chinese food, and because I was rushing so much, failed to look around the car, even though it's parked in my driveway. I failed to look around the car to make sure everything was good. I always check. My husband's a truck driver. He's taught me to always check to make sure your tires and everything, nothing strange is happening. I didn't check. We both get in the car. What happened? I got half a mile up the road for my dashboard to say low tire pressure. And I'm like, low tire pressure? What do you mean? So I pull into the QT. Lo and behold, the tire wasn't a little flat, it was flat. I am so grateful I didn't damage the rims. So I didn't stream last night like I meant to. So anybody could have thought, oh, well, maybe she just didn't care. She just didn't do this and she just didn't do that. By the time we got back in the house from fixing the car and patching the tire and getting back, and we ate dinner because I ended up having to cook instead of getting food to um, Chinese food. It was we ate at 11:30 at night. I was way too tired and to come on and do a stream, and I wouldn't be giving you my best. So I just didn't do it. I rescheduled it. So if you look on the calendar, you'll see that it's rescheduled. So There was nothing wrong with anyone. I did not come on because I just didn't want to, or maybe there's a low count and nobody's coming on. No, I show up anyway. But I my point is, don't add so much to these stories that your anxiety is on 10, 11, and 12. It's really not worth it. It's really just better just to say, okay, it didn't work out. Let's see if there's a makeup, or let's see what else is on the plane. Let's give the person the benefit of the doubt. And even when you do give the benefit of the doubt and say, like, you are right, the person did not call you because they were with someone else, and so now your heart is broken just a tad bit, right? I know it's probably broken a whole lot, but I'm just saying, just a tad bit. Do you start blowing up their phone and blocking all the social media and just becoming irate and adding more to the story? Yes, that is a natural response. However, if you stop, take a breath, okay, you can make a better decision. You can realize that, you know what, maybe this is for the better. I'm not saying that what they did is right. I'm just saying how you can settle yourself and go in a different direction, not make it more than what it has to be, because it's not going to benefit anyone when you fly off the handle. And so I think many people exhaust themselves trying to fight reality, trying to force timing, trying to force answers, trying to force healing, trying to force people to become who they are not. And that is so important. We have so many expectations of the other person that we put these expectations on. They never said that they will be this person. They never said that they would say those things. They never said that they had planned to be where you expected them to be. We have to turn these expectations off. A big expectation that we have of other people is, well, they're old enough to know better. Sorry, age does not make you a woman, age does not make you a man. Age is just a number, and it's just a timeline that you are living. But it's experience, it's respect, it's boundaries. That's what makes an adult an adult, is knowing the difference between things, being able to reason properly. Okay. So eventually we become tired, not because life is heavy, but because we're carrying things that were never ours to carry. So in my energy healing, I do an energy healing where we do deal with things that are not yours. And because a lot of times how we feel, yeah, we're carrying someone else's feelings. We never intended to act this way. We pick up things from TV. We pick up things from our peers. We pick up things from watching mom and dad. We pick up things from other family members. And we happen to start to live life carrying things that were never ours. We are reacting because we saw somebody else react that way, not because we made a conscious decision to act that way. So in my energy session, we go through some of these things after I would have you write down things that or situations that you have come to talk to me about that are blockage. So we sit down and do a guided meditation. And one of the questions that I will always ask is this yours? Is this feeling yours? Is this situation yours? Is this circumstance yours? Because when you really sit down and think about it, you'll realize it's not mine. That's not the way I think. That's not the way I act. That's not even the way how you perceived it. And you thought you did, but it's not yours. And so when it's not yours, we learn through meditation to let it go. Okay. So this is where my perspective began to change. I stopped asking, why is this so, excuse me, why is this so hard? And started asking, am I making this harder than it needs to be? So we have, is this mine? And am I making this harder than it needs to be? In the middle of frustration, in the middle of an even an argument, it's okay just to stop and say, is this mine? And am I making this harder than it needs to be? These are such profound questions that you can ask yourself no matter what the situation is. It doesn't even have to be about a relationship with another person, a romantic relationship. I'll put it that way, because we have relationships with everybody. But when there's friction there, we do have to start asking, is this mine? Am I making this harder than it needs to be? Because what if ease isn't laziness? What if ease isn't giving up? What if ease is actually alignment? Because ease is alignment. Ease is going with the flow. Ease is going with the current. Ease is not getting upset. Ease is not pointing fingers. Ease is love. Ease is peace. Ease is joy. And all of it is alignment. Okay. Just looking over at the chat real quick. Hey, Nell, how are you? Uh, but if But if is in us, is it ours? A good question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Because this is where shadow work comes in. If it's in you, right? You picked it up from somewhere. Okay. So when we do shadow work and dig deep, you'll be able to decipher, is this something that you witness happen? Or is this something that you made the conscious decision? So again, it's the same. It's those are your two polars. Did I create this? Did I watch it? Or did I hear it? Did I see this in action and then brought it to me and made that part of my personality, part of my persona? Because even if you brought it in and made it yours, you can, if you made it, you can unmake it. Okay. So, what if ease is trusting timing, trusting yourself, and trusting that not everything requires force? What if ease is allowing? Can you do that? And we talked about this last night too, because allowing now the part of acceptance. Is that accepting that a thief is a thief? Yes, that's what they chose to do. Is it accepting if the thief stole from you? Well, that's not an action that you took. So it is allowing. However, it's not saying that it's okay. So when you dig in there, know the difference. Allowing is not giving a pass to everything. Allowing is allowing for understanding, because when you understand something, you can do something with it. When you understand something, you can change its course or make a new direction for it. When you understand something, you could grab a hold of it or you can let it go. Okay. So I want you to think for a moment. When you hear this question, what am I making harder than it needs to be? What immediately comes to mind? And you could put it in a chat if you're able. What comes to mind? What am I making harder than it needs to be? And don't overthink it. Usually, the first thing that comes to mind is the thing asking for attention. And I could tell you, in my household, is something really simple. The simple thing is, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? You know, a lot of times I would ask that question and I get an answer right back. So, am I making that harder to be able to prepare dinner? Am I making that harder than it needs to be? What is my solution most of the time? Just go ahead and create a menu. Don't even ask. But yes, I'll be honest, a lot of times I don't want to make decisions for others. It doesn't bother me if it's the night that I don't want to cook. It doesn't bother me to ask each person that is here, what do they want? And it does not bother me that if they choose three different, one wants to eat at this place, one wants something from this place, the other wants something from that place. That's not a bother to me because I'd rather get you what you want than to make you feel forced that you have to have something. So that's me flowing downstream. And it's okay. So don't overthink it. Usually, the first thing that comes to mind is the thing seeking attention. So I think one of the greatest acts of self love is giving ourselves permission to stop carrying what no longer belongs to us: the pressure, the expectation, the impossible standard, the need to control every single outcome. And maybe growth isn't about becoming stronger. Maybe sometimes growth is becoming willing to set something down. Okay. If you could make one area of your life easier starting tonight, what would it be? What would it be? For me, if I could make one area of my life easier, I would actually start scheduling things just a little bit more with a little more intention. That's what I would do because I like to go with the flow. And if spirit tells me not to, but I do understand of organization is good as long as it does not take me off the path, listening and being guided when I need to listen and being guided. Okay. So with that, let's see what guidance wants to come forward tonight. So I'm going to pull three cards and see where that takes us. And the card structure will be, uh, let me move my keyboard out the way because there's nothing else that I'm going to type. I am going to use my after tarot. So, the first card will be answering this question: what am I creating unnecessarily resistance around? Card two, let's say that question will be: what would ease look like here? And I think card three, I'm going to do: what supports me in letting this become easier? All right, good. That is good. So What general things do we have here? What am I? And I'm saying I, and I'm going to say we or collectively. However, this is not just coming to me. This hopefully will resonate for you whenever you are watching this video. What am I creating unnecessarily resistance around? This is good. Okay. Hopefully you can see that this is the Three of Pentacles. Three is duality. And it seems that I'm creating unnecessary resistance. This goes back to really what I just said about scheduling, trying to, perhaps you are one and you may be an entrepreneur or a parent, but you're one that's trying for production. Um, yeah, trying to make things known, your ability, your substance. You're fighting against the grain just a little bit to your transition on becoming, oh, this is so rich. The transition for career change, the transition for the promotion. You don't have to speak as loud as you think you do. That doesn't necessarily belongs to you. So that's where the resistance is. The resistance that you're having is oh my goodness. Spirit is speaking so loud. I'm actually even getting hot um trying to interpret this. There it is. The resistance comes from your planning every aspect where where it comes, and that's where the pushback is. Inspired actions, you're being told or getting slight little gentle nudges on what to do next, but you are persistent in doing things your way because you feel that that is the only way how to do it. However, there's always more than one way. So you're creating unnecessary resistance of your intuition. The answer is right in front of you. But as the older people used to say, get your butt out of the way. Your butt is in the way. So, yes, look at this card again. Is someone struggling to carry something, right? He's struggling. He wants to sell his goods. But this guy here is just watching, saying, hey, look, dude, don't you see? I got the colored clothes on. I got the answers. I can help you get to where you want to get to. That's intuition. The one in all the colors is intuition. And this is you or I struggling, trying to carry all the weight, trying to get this thing done when guidance is right there. So, card two, what would ease look like here? I couldn't have picked, I didn't pick these cards. I promise I shuffled. The hangman. Okay. The hangman sees things from a different perspective. That's what ease would look like. And look, someone coming up, giving you assistance. You see her. I don't know how he could drink upside down, but hey, it's happening. Okay. So assistance is there. So ease would look like support. There it is. Support. If you will get your butt out of the way, you will see support. You will see all the support that universe has to give you. And the the support that you get will could come in a dream. You can have what you consider a deja vu. You could be like me. I get a lot of downloads while I'm washing dishes. Something about the water just excites me, and I feel that I am really close with the universe when I'm in the water, whether it is a lake, washing dishes, taking a shower, in the ocean, just laid out. That's my jam. Okay. So, what supports me? What supports me in letting, I wrote it down here. What supports me in letting this become easier? Of Wands, your support, collect collectiveness. You know that you're not doing this alone. And when the wonderful thing about when you start acting on inspired action is it gets easier because more comes. The more you give it gratitude, the more you say, oh, thank you, I listened, then guess what, you get another download, and it keeps happening, and it keeps happening, and it keeps happening. And that's why I'm so addicted. I am so addicted to intuition. I am so addicted to my highest self and to get the guidance. And I know there's a book called Walking with God. I forget who wrote it, but you can find it on Internet Archives. Listen, when you start walking in this light, so to speak, hearing and the reassurance that you're getting and then giving it compliments afterwards, the easier everything gets, you guys. So, yes, after a while, you will learn that. Are you making it harder than what it needs to be? Yes, you are, because you have support. So those were great cards tonight. Support is here. I am just so pleased because that is what I am all about, trying to get you all to understand and to know you are not in this alone. I know sometimes things look hard. A lot of times you're adding on more to it than what's necessary. So stop swimming upstream. Get in your boat and go with the flow. When something off is happening, do not react with hysteria. Do not get your anxiety up. Do not stress out. Just step back and look at it and say, is this mine? Is there something that I can do to smooth this out? Because for me, a lot of times all I had to do was take a nap. I took a nap. If I feel stressed out, I used to just, okay, I'm going to just tune out. I went and took a nap. And taking a nap does so much. It doesn't even have to be a long nap. It could be all of 15, 20 minutes maybe. But all you got to do is just get quiet. Let's see. This was guidance for everybody. Yes. Yes. If it resonated with you, yes, it was guidance for everybody. Guidance is here. It's always been here. We are spirits living a human experience. We were never born, we could never die. That's my take. You can believe it if you want, or if that's too far off for you, I understand. But once you learn how to go with the flow, once you learn to step back and look at things and just notice them, that's really all it takes. Just notice them. Some things don't even need your reaction to it. Just notice and learn. All right. This conversation has been very different energy from Wednesday. I understand that. Wednesday was emotional release, and tonight was emotional relief. And so that is our time. And if there are any other questions, if you need me to pull a card on something, I'll wait a couple of minutes. But if not, we're going to end it right here. And thank you, my beautiful, for staying up with me again so late. I hope you look forward to, yes, I can pull some cards for you in general. Um, and I know that I hope you get a chance to watch the replay of the other sessions that I had to take down and re-record. And I guess it'll be great because whatever I was talking about the first time, it won't be talked about again because nobody heard it. Go figure. All right, so let's do a general read for you, sweetheart. I am going to do a spread that's going to look at past, present, future, environment, challenge, and outcome. Okay. That is known as a Seven Sisters spread. So, real quick, I would like for you to just put in a chat just to tell me when to stop shuffling and then where you want me to pull the first card from, because that first card that I pull will represent you. Okay, stop in middle. Gotcha. All right. Four Swords is representing you for the night, which all that really means is nothing bad. That means that you are in deep thought. Okay, so let's see what the other cards are going to say around those. All right. Ah, your past card is the Magician. Here's what the Magician says about you is that you are very creative and you understand that when you put your mind to it, okay, and that it can be done. But somewhere along the line, okay, okay, that's what the Magician is. The Magician is just what it says, abracadabra. If I put my mind to it, I can do it. And that was the way how you structured yourself in the past. This is how you were living and things were going really good. Right now, presently, okay, this is the nine of wands. Okay. Wands represent fire. And I know he looks a little beat up, but you're holding on. Everything that you have created while you was in your magician stage, right? You are at the pinnacle of it. Nine represents completion. And so with the nine here, okay, is there someone else here that is looking for help, or you have decided to let somebody help you with this new venture that's going on? And this, I definitely feel that this means work related for you. um, Whether it is you're getting ready to seek a new job. I know that before you were interviewing, but something is going on with work. Somebody sees your resume and likes what is there, or you getting ready to get a call back. Okay. So your future card. Oh, I love this future card. Sweetheart, emotions. This is the Ace of Cups. All right. And you see that dove from above coming down on you. So this tells me that love. Yeah, this tells me that love is in the air. Don't know if you are seeing someone right now. However, um, either things will spice up. If you are seeing someone, things are going to get a little bit more serious. But if not, well, someone is coming along the way. And that's also what you've been thinking about. Okay, so this comes right back to you, dead smack in the center. You've been thinking about your relationship, your love life. You've been also focusing on career and is getting ready for all of that to start to, sorry about that, getting ready for all that to start to mesh and mellow together because it was premeditated. How do I know it was premeditated? Because of this magician right here. Remember, this magician showed up in your past. So premeditated, this is how I want things to be, or this is what I desire them to be. It's okay if it doesn't work out that much. But tonight's message, oh my goodness, was it not for you? Did you make things harder than what it needed to be? Is this time for you to really start flowing downstream? Were you, Nella, going against the current? I think so. So let's look at your environment. These swords are just all over you tonight. King of Swords. King of Swords. What this is energy. Not saying that you have the male thing going on, but this is the energy. Your thoughts are strong. You, mm, you are okay with transitioning. You are okay with doing new things. You're okay with getting ready to make necessary adjustments. The only thing here is sometimes the king overthinks. All right. So and this matches so much with this four of swords here. This is you thinking, you're resting, you're thinking. Do not overthink the processes. Okay. Do not overthink the processes. Change is good. When it doesn't feel good, I need you to, again, step back, notice, let intuition come in and lead the way. Okay. A challenge for you. Look at this. We got the hangman again. Your challenge is sometimes, not all the time, but in this case, there you go. Yes, self-sabotage. Sometimes you need to look at this from a different perspective. Whatever this is that you're working on or moving towards, you want to do things traditionally, but this is going to take a little bit more creativity. There's more than one way to skin the cat. And the outcome, if you do that, if you, this is so good, if you go downstream, if you don't, is this mine? Right? Ask yourself, is this mine? Ace of Swords again. This is where the download comes. You see that Ace of Sword. You see it's look like a hand from God, and then you have that awesome messenger bird. Yeah, the support. You are going to get the downloads to do what you need to do and how you need to do it. You don't have to do it. Your only job is here in the manifesting world. Your only job is to desire. You are not the doer. You are the co-creator. Magician. You are the co-creator. It's the universe's job to get the things done as long as you hold to it, as long as you keep the faith and believe that this can be done. This can happen. As long as you say to yourself, I know that I am supported every day in every way. It gets better and better and better. That's a mantra that I still say to myself when I get up. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better, better, and better. So that is your reading tonight. It's a good reading. Very, very good reading. If you can remember to email me, I will, because I'm not going to keep that read for you. I'm not going to keep it online. And when I go back in and edit, I'm going to pull this part out. Okay. So I will keep this for you. I'm going to take a picture of your spread and I would like to send it to you so that you can have it as a reminder. Okay. So I will take a picture of the spread. If you remember to email me, TenMustardSeeds@gmail.com. Okay, good. I'm glad you feel sadness left. Yes, email me. I'll take a picture of this spread, and I will also pull the transcript from the read and put it into the email so that you have it, sweetheart. Okay, so if anybody else has joined, if you need a read, now is the good time to ask before I get ready to log off. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You don't have to redact the messages. I will go ahead and just like I said, I'm going to pull it all off. Okay. So all that is fine. I'm just going to give you the read. I'm going to pull the transcript from the read of the cards so that you have it. So with that, all right, take what resonates, what didn't land with you. Don't worry about it. Just let it go over. So for tonight and for the next couple of hours, I am going to say a good night, my loves. Thank you for joining me. And as always, this is second week soul sessions. I will be back later on tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow for higher self messages. Good night.